What's up guys, today's video is a bit more of a fun one. We're going to be going over the top 5 worst exotics in Destiny 2. Some of these weapons are only exotic because they're a little unique, but I would never seriously run one of these for an activity that wasn't a strike. So let me know what you think the worst exotic in Destiny 2 is, and see if you can guess what number 1 is before we get there. Without any further delay, let's take a look at number 5. Coming in at number 5, we have the Heart Shadow from the Duality Dungeon. On paper, this exotic sounds awesome. Go invisible, fire void projectiles, and get a damage buff while invisible for a set amount of time. However, in terms of actual damage, the Heart Shadow is, well, mid. So it is completely outclassed by all other exotic swords, and that is why it gets the number 5 slot. Next we have number 4, the Borealis. A former PlayStation exclusive, the Borealis is similar to the Dead Messenger and the Hardlight. It can swap its element with a press of a button, however, that's where its features stop. Since the sniper rifles are already not a great archetype in the PvE meta, the Borealis struggles to find its place. The idea of swapping elements is perfect on paper. Use it when you're soloing activities with multiple shields. However, there's so many better weapons to choose. The multiple elements alone aren't enough to make the Borealis a good exotic when the actual weapon archetype lets it down so badly. And that's why it sits at the number 4 spot. Let's get to the podium top 3. Coming in with the bronze medal is the Cryothesia 77k. Even a rework to this exotic a few seasons back couldn't make this weapon worth using. Since this weapon is so lackluster, so many of you may not even know about it. So this stasis sidearm was introduced in Season of the Splicer way back in 2021. It can now be acquired from the exotic archive from the tower. If for some reason you didn't believe me on how terrible it is, you can try it yourself. The exotic perk LN2 Burst gives this weapon an alternate fire mode that reads, swap firing mode after a final blow to enable a charged shot. Direct hits by a charged shot instantly freeze the target. Indirect hits freeze combatants and slow guardians. The weapon doesn't do anything that Aega's Scepter doesn't do 10 times better. The 77k's exotic catalyst refills the mag whenever you shatter a frozen target. The weapon doesn't provide enough value to the stasis subclass, especially when compared to a headstone hand cannon like the Ice Luna, and that's why it holds the bronze medal. Second on the podium, the silver medal goes to the exotic glaive Edge of Intent. Introduced as one of the class-specific exotic glaives with Witch Queen, the Edge of Intent is the exotic for warlocks. It's able to fire a restorative turret when your energy is full. This turret acts very similar to the stasis turret, but obviously fires healing bolts like the Lumina. The glaive itself, because of its slow fire rate, slow reload, and small magazine, the exotic perk's uptime is abysmally low. The turret itself isn't horrible, it has decent range and healing capabilities, but the healing bolts are quite slow, and by the time they do reach you, you've probably died if you're looking to use it as a last-ditch effort. Another downside of the glaive is once you've swapped firing mode, your energy will drain even if you don't fire the turret. So you need to make sure you are 100% ready to use the restorative turret, otherwise you will lose it. Because of its poor base stats, subpar exotic perk, and the fact that it's a glaive, the Edge of Intent secures the number 2 spot on this podium. And first place for the worst exotic weapon in Destiny 2 goes to the Hunter exotic glaive, Edge of Concurrence. The Hunter exotic glaive coming in just worse than the Warlock one, especially since the introduction of Jolt in Arc 3.0. The exotic perk Lightning Seeker reads, when weapon energy is full, consume it before firing to make your next shot track targets across the ground and unleash chain lightning on impact. Now this sounds like a pretty awesome perk, but in practice it's essentially just a worse version of the Jolt ability. The glaive itself features okay stats. It has an 80 RPM and an 80 reload speed, but at the end of the day it is a glaive and it offers very little to make up for that. The exotic perk is disappointing and it provides nothing unique like the Edge of Intent at least does. And that's why the Edge of Concurrence is the worst exotic in Destiny 2. And that's all for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what weapons you think should be on this list, and if you'd like to connect with me, my Twitch, Twitter, and Discord are all linked in the description below. Until next time, don't use these weapons, Guardian.